How you guys doing?
How are you?
I'm good.
That first touchdown catch of yours, can you take us through the sequencing there and how good that was to get after a couple of stalled drives earlier in the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first half there, I felt like we were moving the ball well. We just kept stalling out there once we got into that strike zone area. Have to do a better job coming away with points in those situations, and just comes down to execution. And if we able to get down there off a great run by Sony, and then got something that we had kind of talked about in practice, and we're able to execute it well. Kind of get sitting there in the little zone coverage when we push forward to a side, and it was at the end of the day, it all comes down to execution. Every part of that, if the stall, when we stall out, it's because we weren't executing. It's just catch the balls you're supposed to, run the routes we're supposed to, be in the spots we're supposed to, and then we're able to move the ball when we do that.
Aware that touchdown catch put you as the franchise leader in receptions, single season of all time for the Rams?
I had no idea, but
Going into the locker room, or is this the first time?
no, that's the first time I'm hearing that. It's, obviously, it's a great honor considering the receivers that have come through this organization. So much, tremendous respect for the receivers that have come before us. They have set a pretty incredible legacy, and then just for them to continue to be around too and want to be a part of this organization moving forward. It's a really cool thing to have that kind of camaraderie with just the guys that have done incredible things here.
Cooper, to get a win in a COVID crazy week like this, and especially to rally when you're down 10-3, can you speak to what that means moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Definitely, you can quickly get thrown off of your rhythm and things like that. And, we really aren't out of it. We got 5 days to turn around and play against a really good Minnesota team. So, we just got to, continue to keep our heads down, take it day by day and do our best to just prepare, learn from this, quickly. But I think it's important to kind of learn from what we put on tape today, and then be able to fix some things and move forward.
I know it just ended, but does it feel like a Thursday night game with such a short difference?
Yeah, it's actually I didn't really think of that at all until I sat down in my locker and was like, oh, we got kind of turned things around here pretty quickly. So be on guys about getting their bodies turned over and ready to go.
This has been kind of three plays that led up to your second touchdown pass. Everyone giving second effort on all of those. Take us through that and then the touchdown.
Well, I mean, I think I think the one before that we had a little keeper. Carlos Dunlap, I think, did a really good job. I don't know if it was Dunlap or Maioa, played up the field and did a great job getting penetration and ended up kind of knocking off one of our receivers coming back. I got to do a better job, not allowing that penetration to happen. And luckily, Matthew did a good job, kind of being off schedule, and we were able to get up the field a little bit for a positive. And then we got into empty. Got into a little empty package. Defense was playing the coverage they've been playing. They just got into a cover 2, and then Matthew's a really good football player, and that's about that. That's my analysis for that touchdown.
Could this have been a trap game, even though it is a divisional opponent?
I don't know about trap game. I mean, I think the Seattle Seahawks, even at least defensively, they've been doing some really good stuff. It's hard to score against those guys. They've been very efficient in that regard. And anytime you're playing a division opponent, I think you have to be at your you got to be on your stuff. You got to be ready to go. So I mean, certainly coming off of a very big game against the Cardinals, and then having all this stuff go on. I don't know if trap game as much as it is just being able to navigate the changes in the routine, the changes in your rhythm, and just be able to still put a game plan together and execute when you don't really know day by day who's going to even be available to play. So I thought we just did a good job handling that and going out there and walking out with the W.
Given the goals this organization has set of playing in the Super Bowl in this stadium, how far or how close do you think you guys are right now to being that team?
Honestly, we take things here a week at a time, a day at a time. There's obviously a goal way out there that you're trying to pursue, but in this league, you can't get past. You can't look past. What you've got that next day. You got to come in with an intentional mindset to get better. each and every day, build 1% day after day, and stack blocks over and over and over again. This league's just too competitive. The players here are too good. The coaches are too knowledgeable to at any point be passing up what that obstacle is right in front of you. So that's our mindset. I'm gonna watch this film and say, what can we do to be a better team? We are never thinking of ourselves, what do we need to do to be a Super Bowl team? It's what can we do to be within ourselves, be the best version of us that we can be, and know that the best version of us is all we can be. So that's the goal at the end of the day.
You know where you stand in the division.
Awesome. Sorry. Come back here. What? Kindle? Yeah. Oh man. I mean, just an incredible job for these tight ends, both tight ends stepping in. I thought being able to run the ball like we did is a huge testament to those guys. Obviously miss Higbee a ton. Higbee's my guy. Hopefully we can get him back soon. But those guys stepping in did an incredible job. I think you mentioned Van has some huge plays, especially early on there. Some huge plays for us, and then even just on his little fly sweep, just the extra effort, running hard. I mean, he's playing fast. He's playing strong. It's fun to see.
A couple more guys. Do you know where you stand in the division as far as record, tiebreakers, that kind of thing?
I'm not really sure where we are with all that, but I think at the end of the day, the healthiest thing for us is just continue to say, we can control what we can control. Be able to control preparing for a good Minnesota team on a short week, and our goal with anything else is just coming out with a W this week. We can't control anything outside of that.
I might not have it phrased correctly, but when that second touchdown throw, the sort of brain-breaking throw that Matthew throws to you, how much of that is timing in terms of different contours and the layers that are set up to spring that play free, and how much of that is you guys playing free and you guys kind of freestyling?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's not just because Sean just walked in here, but that was one, he got us into a great play call. And then, like I've touched, we've kind of been seeing that coverage. We got into a great call, and then it really comes down to, receivers, we know we got to be in a certain place at a certain time within the rhythm and timing of the play. That's our job. It's the quarterback's job to get the ball out and put it in those spots. And I haven't seen, obviously, it yet, but I'm telling you, I'm standing behind it. That was a product of Matthew being a really good football player, getting the ball early, being able to anticipate the spot, being able to put a good trajectory on it to let me run in there when he knows that he's getting that ball out a little early. It was just a very, very impressive play by him, and then I just had to be in the spot and catch the ball. So just a really good play by Matthew.
Can you tell us how you managed to get separation so much when you're being targeted frequently? And also, how much room do you really need for separation?
Yeah, well, we ended up getting a lot of zone coverage today. There were some situations there where we were getting matched up man-to-man. In those ones, it's a lot of that's just understanding leverage, being able to set hips away from where you want to go. But, when it comes to just zone coverage, which is what we were seeing a lot of, it's just feeling out the zones, understanding where guys' helps are, where help is, where their drops are, and then just trying to find kind of the vacancies in that regard. And, I think that we can go back and watch it. I think there's going to be some stuff that we can do a little better, feel those spots and make some tight catches. That I think when you have these situations where teams are playing zone, be able to do a better job of catching the ball when those windows might be collapsing, and just being able to kind of move the ball down the field, convert some third downs, and do a better job in that regard. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Cooper.
Okay, guys, first of all, what an incredible job really by our organization as a whole. Staff, coaches, players. You look at Reggie and his group, Sophie Harlan. So many people were instrumental in even getting us to a position to be able to play this game. And I couldn't be more impressed with just our coaches, our players' ability to be able to bottle up. There's a lot of emotions. This was a heavy week navigating through all the things that we went through. But for our guys to come in here, perform the way that they did, I thought the fans were outstanding. Just so many people. And this was a big-time win for our team. And it wasn't perfect by any stretch, but I thought there was a lot of key plays that were instrumental. I love the response from the offense after we went down 10-3. I thought our defense as a whole was outstanding throughout the course of the day. Jalen Ramsey showed up. Aaron Donald, those guys continue to make their plays. I thought really our rush as a whole, and then for Taylor Rapp to be able to finish it out. But defense was great. Matthew and Cooper made their plays. I thought Sony Michel ran tough, physical, and hard. Guys just played, and then Matt Gay continues to shine. I thought our teams were really good today, and this was a tough, hard-earned win. That's a really tough group. Got a lot of respect for Coach Carroll and the Seahawks, and you could see they had some good momentum coming into this game, after they ended up beating San Fran and then had a really outstanding performance against Houston last week. So really great job. Also, I think it's incredible. Matthew Stafford, I was just told, fastest quarterback to 50,000 yards, and then all the records that Cooper has set. And two of our captains, two of the most, important guys that are instrumental in terms of their leadership and then also their play and just what they mean to me and to our team. So really happy to get this. And then, we'll start our preparation for the Vikings tomorrow.
Sean, it feels like every time Cooper does something insane or breaks some sort of record, he comes in here and has no idea what he just did,
Yeah.
accomplished. Does that surprise you at all at this point?
No, I think he has an idea of how well he's playing, but he is truly one of the most humble, special players I've ever been around. And, he doesn't need all the accolades. I think it's great he gets his first Pro Bowl recognition. I don't know how he's not going to be a first-team All-Pro player. I think he's a legitimate candidate for a lot of awards, but he is about our team. He's interested in leading the right way, making the plays that, that are instrumental and vital to the outcomes of our really our team success. And he does a lot of stuff without the football as well. But he's so special, Jordan. You and I both know that. It's pretty cool.
You talked about the fact that everybody on this team was really so mentally tough this week for everything that you've been through.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about that? Like, everybody was on the same page. Everyone was right where they needed to be.
It's amazing, Maria. Really, it's certainly has been a whirlwind. For our guys, Raheem joked. He said, we were like the Lakers. We got a couple shoot-arounds earlier this week, and then we rolled it out and played. And so I think that's well said. But our guys, you talk about a mature football team. It's later on in the year, but we had a lot of guys. I think Les and his group did a great job of really filling out some of the practice squad looks and really just the entirety of our roster. For us to be able to practice in a manner that's reflective of getting ready for a good football team, but. I think what we've seen from this team, Maria, is these guys are mentally tough. They've stayed connected. Some of the adverse moments that we've been through, these guys find a positive in that. And I think that's really developed a good armor for us to be able to sustain some of that adversity and respond the right way, whether it's in games or throughout the course of the week. And really proud of this team. Really proud of these players.
Missing the two coaches today?
We were. Yes, we were missing Thomas Brown and Zach Cromer, and hopefully we'll get them back sooner than later. I'll get you right after this. Go ahead.
How satisfied were you with that mixing of the running back personal and some of those drives? Is that a lot?
Yeah, Sony got the majority of the workload. I thought Darryl came in and did a nice job. He was really kind of getting his wind underneath him. He had a couple big-time carries, but thought Sony was outstanding today. Really, Thomas Brown is such a great leader for that room. He's the assistant head coach. He's a running back coach, has a great feel during the course of the game. I thought Zach Robinson did a great job being able to spell those guys, have a good feel, communicate with them in between drives. And so Sony was outstanding, and then Darryl did a nice job with the opportunities he had today.
Along the lines of mental toughness, there was one sequence early in the fourth quarter where like 3 or 4 consecutive offensive plays, guys were moving the pile.
Yeah.
Guys were getting extra yards. Is that kind of an illustration of not just today, but all along?
It is, and I thought it's been especially relevant these last 3 weeks. You look at it, our guys, they tightened up when they had to be at their best. Sony was leveling runs off. The one that you're probably talking about is when Darryl got that really good push, in kind of one of our downhill direct runs. I thought that was a tone-setting play for us. And then really once the defense makes the stop on fourth down, the first play of that sequence where Sony breaks it out, has the presence to stay in bounds where the clock's, you run another 40 seconds off the clock, and then ultimately Matt Gay coming in and delivering the field goal to put us up 10. So many things, but I thought the offensive line did a great job, in particular when we had to run it, to be able to close out the game.
With everything that's happened this week, to not only get this win in the COVID craziness, but to rally. You've talked all year about this team that kind of put a few exclamation points. behind the character for you?
I think it did, Kurt. It was really it was special by those guys, and it makes it that much sweeter when you see guys just stay connected, stay together. It wasn't always perfect, and there were some opportunities that I think we're going to be able to learn from, similar to what Cooper was saying before I walked in here. But guys didn't flinch, they didn't blink, they just stayed the course. We stayed connected as a team. You know, for them to come out, they had a good drive to start out the second half. They go up 10-3, and then what happens? We respond right away. I thought, you know, there was some big time plays, but you know, Sony's toughness, the one, you know, long run that he broke out when we were in the shotgun and he ended up getting the stiff arm, and then to be able to have Matthew deliver a nice timing throw to Cooper to finish out that drive for the touchdown was key to get back to 10-10. And then I thought we had the momentum from the rest of the point, you know, from then on for the remainder of the game.
You touched earlier on this being kind of an emotional, like sort of weighty, sort of heavy week leading up to it. Guys like Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, seemingly with an ability to bottle that and push it in the right direction.
Yep.
What does that mean as this defense sort of gathers its identity?
Yeah, I thought, you know, those two guys are so special to us. They're team captains. You know, missing Jordan Fuller, I thought Ernest Jones did a great job handling the dot today. But Aaron and Jalen are first-team All-Pro players for a reason. They're a legitimate Defensive Player of the Year guys. I mean, they're so special. They're one of one at what they do. And their leadership, their ability to be able to bottle that up. I think anybody that's great at what they do, Jordan, has a mental toughness and a resilience. And certainly both of those two guys really stand out and check the boxes on both of those things. I also thought Raheem and our defensive coaching staff did a great job. I mean, you talk about a great plan, being able to maximize it. I mean, you know, it was really up until this morning. You don't really know if you're getting some key players, you know, like Von and just all the moving parts. I think it really showed great agility by Raheem and our group, you know, and his group, Joe DeCamillis and Dwayne Stukes, Kevin O'Connell and the offensive coaches. And, you know, those guys did an outstanding job. But Jalen and Aaron were special tonight, Jordan.
What was the lowest or the most challenging moment for you leading up through this week, and what do you think it's going to be as you guys try to get ready?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I'd ever really look at it like that, Gary. I think it was just take it one moment at a time and figure out, okay, what is the way that we can have a solution-oriented mindset. I was very fortunate, you know, and I mentioned this earlier, but with the league and the PA to be able to work in coordination, to be able to move this game back, I thought that was key for us to be able to play this game. You know, with the amount of guys that we're going to miss, you know, I don't even know if we had enough guys to be able to field a team, but I didn't really look at it like that. It just was, hey, let's just be in the moment. Let's take it one step at a time, and let's figure out a way to maximize the guys that we do have, our preparation, given clarity. I thought the way that they kept attention, you know, on some of these Zoom meetings and then be able to translate that to really 2 days of on-the-field preparation was big time. You know, but it was kind of a build-up to this game where you got a little bit better information every day. It started to just get a little bit brighter and brighter, and hopefully we'll get some guys back from Minnesota because that's going to be a really tough game. Go ahead. Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. You know, I think Kendall really the last couple weeks he's been asked to step up. Missing Tyler Higbee, been really pleased with him. I also thought Bryson Hopkins, you know, that third down that he had was a big-time play for us. And then Ben Skoranek, he's a sharp, savvy, smart football player. He's tough. You know, he's going to only remember the one play where he was trying to get vertical before he ended up catching it, but he had 4 catches for, you know, over 40 yards that were big-time, and he's just going to continue to grow and get better and better for us, both on offense and on teams.
Given, you know, when you picture what this game could be,
Yeah.
I guess, how far or how close do you think you are to that? And given that, like, this COVID thing doesn't seem like it's going to be going away, how optimistic are you that you're going to be able to even practice enough or work enough to get the team set?
I am optimistic just based on the new protocols and kind of what we've learned about this. So many of the people that were affected by this, Dylan, were asymptomatic. And, you know, you want to be smart. I think we want to make sure, you know, we're going to have to alter and adjust our schedule and the way we operate for the rest of the way. But I think that's going to be consistent with the rest of the league. What we have going for us is that we have a situation in a setting similar to last year where we can operate outside because the weather, for the most part, is so great. Now, I think it's supposed to rain this week where we might have to come down to SoFi, you know, and be able to practice here. But, you know, we're just in the moment right now. I think the most important thing is let's play our best ball in the month of December, and I think we've strung together 3 good performances. Has it been perfect? Certainly not, but I think that we've developed some resilience, some toughness, and we're trying to, you know, really establish an identity that's in alignment with giving ourselves a chance if we do get fortunate enough to be able to play after the regular season. Let's peak at the right time, and what that looks like is an exciting thing for us. But, you know, for now, we'll enjoy this. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll start getting ready for a really tough Minnesota team.
Last one, guys. Sean, how much?
I'll get you, and then I'll be. Go ahead.
Thank you. Kind of to follow that point, a couple points during press conference tonight, you seem almost overcome. Like there are things that are going on in your mind that have happened over these last 3 weeks. Where is your head at right now, and what have you learned about yourself?
I think where my head's at is I'm grateful for this team. I've been reminded, not really reminded, but you're just so appreciative of the guys that you go to work with. Our organization, our players, our coaches, that's why you go to work and you work so hard to try to experience moments like what we had in the locker room. But also sometimes that adversity, I look at it as every single week represents a chapter in the book. And these guys are writing a special book right now. And I think some of the adversity that we experienced in the month of November makes these moments that much sweeter. Let's continue to build on it. But I'm just appreciative to do this with people that I love and care about. And I am, I'm tired right now. This has been emotionally and physically exhausting. We'll get some rest, and then we'll get back at this thing tomorrow and have a zest for life, Jordan. It'll be good. So, go ahead.
How much is Tony's increased effectiveness based on getting more comfortable in the office and you knowing kind of what runs him more effectively runs?
He's been awesome. I think he's really brought a toughness to our offense. You saw the body of work that he had at New England. Really, I think about when they ended up beating us in the Super Bowl, that stretch run, they really shifted their identity where they leaned on him. They were pounding. They were physical. We've been able to do that with him. And then I thought he made some key plays in the pass game. He's so tough in blitz pickup. He's really a complete back. He's brought so much to us. He's so conscientious. Thomas Brown's done a great job. But I think more than anything, he's brought a toughness. He's brought an ability to sustain possessions. You could see that time of possession has really tilted in our direction in a positive way. And I think you're seeing that show up with, hey, how does that affect us playing complementary football? Our rush is getting home. We look fresher on defense, and I think that's why we played so well as a team these last 3 weeks. Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Jalen, could you take us through what your last week and a half, almost your last week, has been like, and some of the emotions that have run through you in that regard?
It was cool or whatever. Monday, probably like at, I don't know, like 4 hours before the game, 4 or 5 hours before the game, the head trainer, Reggie, texted me and he said that I had tested positive for COVID. And I was just pissed off, honestly, because I knew I couldn't play. So I flew home immediately. And then, watched the game at the crib. I mean, I get to a point where, like, I be mad, but then I don't give a damn no more because I can't do nothing about it. So I got to that point real quick. I couldn't do nothing about it, so I just got to the crib and was chilling, honestly. And then my house is pretty fun, honestly. So I was chilling, working out, shot a little basketball, played a little Xbox. I was just chilling. The worst thing though was I couldn't get like my treatment and stuff like that on my body because I couldn't be around like nobody. I couldn't be around no trainers or any of my team who usually comes over and treats me. So that was probably the worst part. Just my body was a little just been battling some injuries, body a little achy and stuff like that. That was the worst part leading up to today. But other than that, I've been cool. Mental been cool. Was just ready to get back out there, and as soon as my test came back negative, then I was out there, and it was cool.
How difficult was it, or was it difficult to get into the sink on a Tuesday?
It was weird. It was weird a little bit, but once you go out there and the ball snaps, you got to play. And, I guess that's just what we did. But it was definitely a little different, I would say.
Essentially coming in pretty much cold, having had your week out of treatment and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 third down pass breakups where you stretched all the way out to make them. Wondering if you could take us through those and what it is to make a play like that when you do miss an entire week of work.
Yeah. On those specific plays, I was matched up against DK. On the first one, he ran like a 7 route, which is a corner route basically. And I tried to bait it, to be honest. I tried to make it seem like I lost my leverage a little bit so I could undercut it and yeah, he threw it a little bit too long, so I could only tip it, not get a pick. And then the other one, the deep ball, it was like a double stutter goal, and to be completely honest about it, after he did like the second stutter, I turned and because I was like, there's no way he's gonna throw this, and then I saw the ball in the air and I just sped up and knocked it down, and that was probably about it on those. I mean, whether I practice or not during the week, it don't really matter to me. I prepare myself mentally, and like I said, I was working out at the crib, like physically as I can, as best as I can to be ready to play games. But to be honest with you, I ain't gonna say I don't need practice, but I can turn it on when I have to turn it on.
How much do you notice plays like that, Aaron blowing up the screen on third down, impacting the rest of the defense? I know you guys aren't the only ones making plays like that, obviously, but how does that impact the rest of the defense when you guys are doing that?
Positively, I would say that's all I would say about it. I mean, me and AD are, kind of the leaders of the defense, and guys want us to be able to make those big plays. We're expected to make plays like that, so we just take advantage of our opportunities when we get them, and hope that everybody does feed off of it in a positive way.
Can you talk about covering Metcalf, a player like that? What's it like, and what really gets you excited about that? And do you have to do anything special to raise your level of play against someone like that?
He's a special player, gifted obviously by God, with all the size and the skill set that he has. Not only is he as big as some of our defensive ends, but he's like fast. He's just as fast as all of the wide receivers and secondary around the league, and he's doing that at like I said, a defensive end size. So yeah, it's difficult. It's a challenge. I wouldn't say difficult. I would say it's a challenge. Definitely playing a guy like that, and you gotta be prepared mentally and physically. But I mean, that's kind of all it is for me personally. Like, don't nobody in the league put no fear in my heart. So I mean, I feel like I'm gifted as well. I feel like I'm blessed. So, yeah, I just go out there and play. I mean, try to treat every game the same. But, yeah, I guess that's all.
Going from the three-game losing streak to a three-game winning streak, everything you had to overcome in the past week and a half, what does it say about where the team is right now?
I think we're in a good spot. I mean, hopefully we're in a good spot. We can keep trending up. I don't know. We don't. To be honest, like we don't speak like that though. Like we don't talk about like, oh, we just were on a 3-game losing streak and now we're on a 3-game winning streak. Like we don't. I don't know. That's kind of my first time thinking about it because we don't talk about it. We don't think about it. That's not what we do. I don't know. It's not what we do. We go week by week, try to prepare, try to go out there and do the best we can to win every game. But knowing that now and like actually thinking about it, I would say I guess yeah we trending in the right direction. We in a good spot.
Dante Deion's pass breakup.
Yeah.
It looked like you and Taylor, you had communicated something you saw pre-snap, and you guys shifted a little bit. And then Dante obviously was able to make that play. Can you take us through what that was, what you saw, and then what you saw from him making that play?
Yeah. The first formation they started off, DK was at 3, so I was. I moved. I told Didi to play outside corner so I could play star. Try to match up with DK, and then so he was at 3. Then he motioned to the opposite side, and I was gonna run over there with him, but we had too many moving pieces. And so I mean, sometimes when you get in situations like that, the best thing to do is just like, hey, line up and play. Like we know each other's responsibilities, so I can take on his responsibility, he can take on mine, or vice versa. We can make it work within the defense. So that's all that was. And then that was a great play because it was a tough play to make. Honestly, it's always tough when Russell extends plays and scrambles. The receivers, it kind of turns into like backyard football. Receivers can make up routes, and it's already tough covering these NFL receivers, these good NFL receivers. And when they can make up routes with their quarterback, have good chemistry with their quarterback, and extend plays, and run deep, short, whatever it is, that's super tough to cut. Like that's probably the toughest thing for us to do as DBs. So for him to be able to play through the hands and making it a great play, that was big. That was big time from him. I don't know if I can point out one thing. Honestly, personally, I'm biased though, because I love Coach Ra and I love my teammates. But I think we've been good. I think we've been balling. At certain times throughout the year, we haven't executed up to our ability. But I mean, the other teams, they're NFL players as well, so it's not always going to be perfect, even though that's what we're striving to do. I would say, I guess, execution. I guess we've been executing a little bit better in these games that we've been playing better in. Thank y'all. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and all that.
Tatum, you take that? No, you're good. All right, cool.
As long as it doesn't rain, right?
That's right.
Matthew, is there anything that Cooper Kupp does that surprises you at this point?
No, I mean, he's a great player. He's having a fantastic season. He's such a huge part of what we do as a team. You know, not only on offense, he's back there catching a bunch of punch for us on special teams. Does a great job leading that group. And, you know, I'm just happy that I get the chance to play with a guy like that. I know a lot of guys on our team feel the same way. You know, it's we all take a hand in his success, and it's really fun to, you know, we're just proud of him. Just proud of him, watch him doing his thing.
To get a win like this with so many distractions earlier with COVID and to come back from behind to stay in this 10-4 race, what's that mean for you?
That was big, you know. We really moved the ball well on offense tonight. We just stalled out, or I turned the ball over on a terrible throw. You know, kind of moved the ball past the 50 a bunch, it felt like. You know, a couple too many 3-and-outs here and there. There's no question about that. Put ourselves in some 3rd and longs that we ended up overcoming some of them, but, you know, not exactly where we want to put ourselves. But our defense played outstanding. You know, they just battled all night, kept us in it early, gave us chances. You know, gave it the one touchdown drive in the second half. I felt it was great for us to come back and answer. And then, man, they were shut down. And, you know, our best players making the best plays. That's what it always boils down to. It's great watching those guys do their thing. Tonight was a total team win. You know, it's not always going to be pretty. They were playing really, really deep to short on us as an offense, trying to make us check it down and go, you know, 10, 15 play drives. We were able to get over the top a couple times, but, you know, it's just one of those that you kind of had to slug out. And those wins are big, especially in December. That's kind of how they happen, and just happy we got it.
When you guys had 29 guys on 29 players on the COVID list, was it hard to imagine how you were going to do this?
I got a lot of trust in the guys that were still available at that point. There were some times during the week for sure where it was just every day felt like half our team was getting added to the list, and you know, I got to give our training staff a bunch of credit for doing a great job of handling that. Our guys on our team, you know, guys who we asked to step up and play, you know, significant roles tonight did a great job. You know, hopefully we get some of those guys back, but at the same time, just really want those guys to feel good and feel healthy. So, you know, as soon as we get them back, we'll keep it moving. But I was just proud of the way we battled through some adversity, you know, led by our head coach. He did a fantastic job of kind of leading the way all week, even keeled and ready to go, solution-oriented and figure some stuff out. So it was great.
On the interception, you said that was just a bad throw, that wasn't a miscommunication.
Yeah, no, it was a bad throw. Yeah, those happen.
And just about going back to Cooper a little bit.
Yep.
What is it that makes him different than, you know, obviously you've been playing a while, you've thrown to a lot of guys. What separates him from?
Every receiver is different, you know. I think Cooper does a great job of understanding what the defense is doing. He's as smart a guy as I've played with, you know, at that position. And then he's got a ton of skills. He's 6'2", 205 pounds or whatever he is, 210 pounds. He's strong. He's got better long speed than people give him credit for. Catches everything. it's kind of what you want in a receiver. So he does a little bit of everything really well, and it just turns out into a really great player.
In explaining that second touchdown pass to him on the crossing route, he said, Matthew is a really special player. That's my analysis of that play. Can you take us through that in terms of what went into that play and how you executed it?
A whole lot of trust. I know that. I've spent a lot of time with him, spent a lot of hours, watching tape, talking ball, and watching him run routes and throw it to him. You got to trust that one when you got to cut it loose early and cut it loose to a spot that I think only he's going to be able to get to. Ended up being a good spot, and then he caught it and scored. I didn't get to see a lot of it. It was kind of laying down for some of it, but it was, those guys up front battled their ass off tonight. I thought Bobby did a great job of stepping in and playing on super short notice, and gave me enough time to get that one off. And great call by Sean. I just trusted Cooper to get to a spot, was able to put it in there, and he made a great catch and then scored with it.
Have you ever thrown that in practice where you know he's going to be there, and so you can do that in the game? You understand?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the only way those things happen. Certain times in a game you feel like you need to make a play, and that was kind of a time where we had some momentum. We moved the ball great, and we had kind of stalled out in that area of the field a few times. A few times too many in that game, and I wanted to make a play. The hook player got a ton of depth. I'm throwing that ball, whatever it was, 20, 25 yards down the field, and the hook player's almost making the play on it. So they were doing that all night, trying to keep us from getting behind them. But I just felt like I could put it into a spot. I trusted Cooper to get in there. He went in there, made a nice catch, and kind of walked into the end zone. But sometimes you gotta sit back there, trust one, and put it to a good spot, and trust your guy's gonna go make a play, and he did.
Matt, when you talk about the sacks, obviously you don't want to get sacked, but on those plays, was it because the receivers were covered, and you just have a philosophy of just protecting the ball in that situation, or what is it?
I'm going to have to go back and look at them. Combination of a few things. There were a couple that I wish I would have gotten the ball out, especially when we were in field goal range a couple times. Wish I could have just at least dirted a couple. But that's tough to analyze at the moment. Maybe there's a guy standing open that I could have gotten it to. But where my eyes were at the time of those sacks, I got to do a better job of getting it out and knowing the situation a little bit better and making sure that we come away in some of those drives with points. But this is a team game. But at my position, I can make it a little bit better and get the ball out of my hands.
How much pain or whatever do you suffer on these sacks, or how much do you would?
I'm good. Yeah, I feel fine.
Appreciate it. I'm going to ask Sean the same question, but over these last 3 weeks, putting together successful plans despite dealing in escalation, some adverse circumstances. He talked a little bit about what he had sort of learned about himself and the group, but what have you learned about him through this time? Yeah,
the guy is, he's ultra resilient. He's really smart and confident in himself, and he should be. He's got a great mind and a great ability to connect with people. Like I said, this whole week was led by him, and some of that is vulnerability too, right? Like, hey guys, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is going to be tomorrow because we just don't know. There were a lot of unknowns this week, and that resonates with us in the locker room, right? Somebody who's real doesn't sit there and say, I've got all the answers on a Wednesday when however many guys hit the COVID list, right? We don't know. We're just going to play this thing day by day. Here's what we can control, and we go from there. And, that's something that as a player you love from a coach. You just sit there and go, perfect, that's what we're all thinking. I'm glad you're thinking the same thing from us. Hey, let's build this plan for this game as it kind of comes into focus as who we're going to have. And he did a fantastic job of that. I know he had a lot on his plate this week. I feel like our assistant coaches did a great job of helping him out in some of that too, right? He's dealing with all sorts of things, moving parts, personnel, all that kind of stuff. And some of our guys did a great job of bringing things to him as part of the plan. And he puts his own little touch on all that, and then we go out there and play a game. And just happy to be playing for a guy like that. I got a lot of trust in him and have a bunch of fun playing and working with him.
Getting this win this learn something new from the group, having to overcome all of the things you guys did and just the way you executed, and what will that mean moving forward?
Yeah, I don't know if I learned it, anything new, just because I felt like I knew that about our group already. Had a tough couple games, a month ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago that, really galvanized us as a group. Understand that, an NFL season is going to have ebbs and flows, and we just got to figure out how to fix it, and we did that. You got to prove it every single week. But, I'm proud of the mental toughness, physical toughness that our guys showed. We got a game on a super short week coming up. We're going to have to do it again against a team that's playing really good football. We got to go to their place. I've played there a bunch of times in my career. It's a tough place to play. And, so we'll have a big challenge on our plate next week. But excited to get this one under our belt and move on. Thank you.
Finally got it out of the way, Von.
Yeah.
Take us through, Von.
Crazy times. It's been a crazy week. My first game ever in my whole entire life, playing in a game, not having any practice, any meetings, and then the day of the next game, I get cleared. So, it's unprecedented times. Anything you get, you just got to make the most of it. I was shocked this morning when they told me I had cleared. I had stayed at home last night, and, I just started to dial in and, get my mind wrapped around, I have to play today. Came here to the stadium. Coach Thad, he took me through all the new calls and everything I needed to know, and, I just went out there and played. It kind of felt like Little League, football, which, made it fun. We're playing a child's game, and it's good to, take a few steps back and, just appreciate, playing. It was on a Tuesday. It was just a crazy night. I got my first sack, man. It was a great day. It's a great day to be around.
It's always good to get a sack against Russell Wilson, so take us through that play.
Yeah, I mean, Russ, he's a great quarterback. I don't know what it is. He just gives me sacks my whole career. Thank you, Russ. I love you. That's my guy off the field. I've been playing Russ for a long time. Got a lot of respect for him, and he's just been my guy. I appreciate that. It was nothing special I did. He was scrambling around, and I just was able to get him on the ground, and playing with Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald, man, it's great. Greg Gaines, and it's great to be around, man. I'm just trying to do my job. They traded me here to get sacks and pressures, and it just feels good to do my job for my team.
To be 10-4 with everything you've gone through, starting the season in Denver and here, and getting a win during COVID, as you explained, but now you're right in the middle of that race. What's that mean for you in this team?
Man, we got a team full of leaders, and I think it starts at the top with Coach McVay. He does a great job of keeping everybody focused. You have a week like this where we only had 2 walkthroughs and, all of the Zoom meetings, and we go out there and play the way we played, man. It's great leadership in and out the locker room, up top with Coach McVay and all the coaches, and Raheem Morris, and in the locker room with, Aaron Donald, Taylor Rapp, and, all the leaders that we got, man. To get Jalen back and all the guys that we got, man, it's been pretty cool. And, we've done a great job of just taking it one game at a time, and that's all we can do. We just got to keep on playing. We're playing in a tough, NFC West division. We got some tough games coming up, and we just want to take it one game at a time and see where we end up at the end of the season.
Von, going back to the sudden change and being cleared so close to kickoff, obviously you guys football players are very much creatures of habit. What was the biggest adjustment for you as far as your routine or anything like that to get ready?
Not staying in a hotel the night before the game. I had to wake up extremely early. I had to test at 6:30 this morning. And I was just doing, what the team wanted me to do protocol. I had no idea I was going to pass. Yesterday they had said that my levels had actually dropped. So I was trending upwards to play, and then yesterday they told me that I had took a huge drop. So, I really didn't know what to expect. I took the test and went home, started playing Call of Duty. I'm playing Call of Duty at 6:45, 7 a.m. and Reggie called me and he said that I was clear. I was like, oh snap! I finished my game. But then I went upstairs and I started packing. And I made the hour drive down to the hotel. Got to the hotel. I had missed meetings for the morning. I just took a nap and, got over to the stadium. I just control what you can control, and, I just try to keep my mindset on the game, try to keep my mindset on the things that I know how to do, and went out there and played.
When you came in, you knew of a lot of these guys, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, even on the offensive side. But Greg Gaines, what have you learned about Greg Gaines over the last couple of weeks?
I love that guy. He can play some football for sure. You can say what you want about him, this, that. He's not tall enough. But this guy, he can play. And, they said some of the same things about 99. And, he proves guys – he's been proving guys wrong for years. And I think Greg Gaines is on that same trajectory. He's a great player. Whenever you put the pads on, he can play. He can do anything you want him to do. I like working with Greg Gaines. We run me games. We run all type of games. I'm sure I got to keep the terminology so you guys will understand. But, we run games, and it's just so natural. And I think he's had a lot of practice with AD and the guys that they had here before. So when he got here with me, it's just seamless. You just tell me what you want and we do it. I tell him what I want and we do it, and we just play off each other, man. It's been refreshing, being here with AD, Greg Gaines, and Leonard Floyd. It's definitely a pass rusher's dream.
If it's overly personal, you don't have to answer. But in terms of, you've had a hard couple of weeks. How are you doing? And sort of as you've had time to reflect on your loss and all of that, how are you doing?
You know what? Me and DT, we spent so much time together. I wasn't able to make his service yesterday. I thought I was. I thought I was going to have the opportunity to speak. That's just the way things played out. I didn't get cleared till today, and I still thought about, man, I'm going to the funeral, but it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been responsible for me to make that trip, and I knew DT well, and this is what he wanted. Our memories and the talks that we had. I keep them close to my heart for sure, and I knew DT. I knew him well on and off the football field. We've traveled all across the world, and as I sit back and I close my eyes and I just I think about his legacy. He would want me to go harder. He would want me to ball out. He would want me to be. He always just say I was too humble, and I was like, bro, I don't know how much more humble you want me to get. I'm one of the most, when it's time to show out, I show out. But, he used to always tell me, I was too humble. So I just try to, honor his words and just turn up for the time that I have, for this moment that I have in the league. Tomorrow is not a promise. Being here with the Rams, I just try to take advantage of my opportunity here, and I just want to turn up and do the things that he would want me to do. He would want me to shine. He would want me to go crazy. He would want that like cocky Von dancing and doing all the things I used to do when I was younger. So I just trying to honor his words, and my mom and my dad are super close with his mom and his dad, and it's just there's no way you could you can't even imagine what they're going through, but. I'm there for those guys, and I would do what DT would do for me if that would have happened to me. I would, take care of his legacy, take care of his family, and that's what I would do for the rest of my life.
You guys did a very good job, obviously, with Russell Wilson and the offense out. What was working out in the second half?
Honestly, I really don't know. We got to watch the film. They drove the ball down the field and scored on us that first drive, and we got a team full of ballers, man, and. When you look to your right, you got 99, you look across, and you got 54, and you got, Greg Gaines in the middle. If it's a sack to be had, if it's a play to be made, we're going to make it. It's refreshing being here. If they score a touchdown here, they did an incredible job, driving down the field. But I feel extremely confident in my team. I feel extremely confident in my skill. And, whatever it is for us to have out there in the field, we're going to get it for sure. Ernest, he's a baller, man. He's been doing it for a while. He was doing it before I even got here. He's a young guy and to have such a grasp, on his defense and on his role, man. He covers guys, covers tight end, running backs. He fills the holes. I said last week that he's our Kyler Murray. He's our Swiss Army knife, and he does everything extremely well. Being around him for these last 4 weeks has been a treat. I've been around some very talented linebackers, and it's good to be around Ernest Jones as well. He has a super bright future, man, and I'm just I'm blessed to play with him these few games.
Was there
Games are going to be different. You're going to play in different locations. You're going to have more time in some games, less time in some games. I always like to say, man, if I can listen to Phil Collins in the air tonight, that's my routine. You're not going to be able to eat the same thing, before games. You're not going to be able to get in the cold tub and get massages and all that stuff and, do the normal things that I would normally do. So I just put in my mind that if I could just listen to Phil Collins in the air tonight. I've been listening to that song since my sophomore year in college, and that's really the only thing I could control today. I didn't get to go through the playbook and get to go through my notes and everything that you would typically do for a game like this. So all I could do was just listen to Phil Collins in the air tonight right before the game, and everything else I just let that take care of itself. I don't really just try to play games on myself. I just try to, whatever cards I'm dealt, I just try to make the most of it for sure. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Yes, sir.